Paul, I imagine there's some mixed feelings about, isn't there, in terms of being in the position you were in after 12 minutes and only taking a point?
Well, my message to the players, yeah, there were. I don't think anyone knew how to, not react, but they certainly weren't jumping for joy, should I say. So I just said, look at it, forget when the goals were scored. If you're coming here 2-2 against a team who I think are really improving and a good side, and I thought we had the better chances, they had the more possession, it was a pattern of the game. Yeah, so I'm not disappointed with the performance. There's things in there which we've been improving on all the time. The pleasing thing was how we set about the game, and I always look at us and what could we do? Did we prepare right? We prepared perfectly, because I thought the pattern of the game, we got off to a tee in terms of us with the ball and without the ball. The problem was when you score those goals too early, all of a sudden we'd one or two players just drop into a bit of a default mode, and the last 15 minutes of the first half were the only part of the game really where I didn't like us.
How do you get a start like that? How do you pick up pretty much where you left off, but with 3 changes to the team and against a completely different opponent? Because from the off it looked like you were making the running. Yeah,
without giving too much, and it's not, we prepare for the opposition and who's in front of us and how they try and play. So we got things right with the ball in terms of when their wide players jump, the wide forwards jump to our wide centre back, so we play the wing back, their full back then jumps to our wing back. The next pass is down the side, and we did it twice. We get the penalty off it with Emile. And then without the ball, we changed slightly because of, I think, like I said, one of the improvements they made is how good they are with the ball, play a lot of short passes centrally, try and draw you right onto them and then create the space in behind. If we'd have just stayed in our back 5 without the ball, their front 3 would have pinned us in. So we pushed Robbie higher and narrower to be 4-4-2 without the ball, and yeah, and then Robbie pinches the ball for the other goal. So yeah, all those things are really important. The problem is, and like I said, the disappointing thing is when we were 2-0 up for the last 15 minutes of the first half, it was like we were protecting that lead instead of playing the same way. And good players, good technical players, we invited them too close to our goal. And yeah, that goal before half-time was really disappointing.
Is that a reminder to a group of players that you've not worked with for that long? You've talked a lot about being on the front foot and being sort of ambitious almost in games, that if you do revert to that sitting on it, you can get a bit in the backside.
Yeah, 100%. It's almost like you're forgetting that part of the game. So yeah, that's the only disappointing bit. I think in the second half, we started in the same vein. I think if you're looking at the flow of the game, and still Norwich had more possession, but it was much more even again in terms of territory and chances. We missed a big opportunity at 2-1 not long after they score. And then, yeah, I thought it was to and fro. Again, pattern was set. I thought we were dangerous on the break. They had the ball. And it was only probably the last 5 or 10 minutes where it shifted probably a bit more towards them in terms of territory and opportunities.
Stating the obvious question, but how important was it that you got over the line and got the point and stayed unbeaten in 4?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it is. I probably don't know the way I'm feeling at the minute right now. When I've gone through the game again tomorrow, and like I say, you go through not the game the week before, so I'll be prepared. Which messages work well, which probably didn't get taken on board, and it's only when you've gone through that process really I think you can, yeah, put a in terms of coaching process, put a more realistic picture of it.
This is more a question for before a game, so we'll revisit it at some point. But that changing in possession and out of possession and changing the shape within the game, how hard is that to implement?
We've done it in every game. Well, no, not every game. We've done it in a lot of games. So if we get the preparation right, not too hard, because we try not to change too much. So if you think about what I've just said there, in possession we were the same team. Out of possession, all we did, Robbie played higher and Kane played deeper. Basically, that was it. Yeah, so that was the only change in that game. And then second half, I don't know why they changed, but they changed and went to a back 3 and wing back. So we changed straight away because it just suited us then. And yeah, I was pleased that they made that change.
Have you seen a lot to be encouraged by over the piece of this 4-game run across an international break where you've been unbeaten?
Yeah, Yeah, I think, well, from the start, the players have responded well. Like I said, training's been good. We changed a bit more in terms of, we've changed personnel in lots of games, and we'll continue to do that. We changed shape quite a bit and experimented, because I'd still want to evolve the team. But this is certainly, the way we've been playing lately is certainly suits the squad in terms of getting results. So that won't change too much. So from this sort of shape, will be how we set up. So that's been pleasing. And then the other bits is, you know, we've gone down there and we're talking about missing chances again, which is really pleasing. When you think to one of my other concerns when we came in, I think we spoke about a lot, was goal scoring, creating chances. Again, we've been much higher on the XG than our opponents, which is really pleasing. So all those things are big steps forward. Yeah, but we can't stop. We can't rest on our laurels, if you like. We've got to keep pushing, and then the boys who aren't featuring in the team all the time, we have to somehow get them in the team, because if we get someone else in the team, we've improved the team, and then whoever else is out the team, so on and so forth. So yeah, still lots to do. It never stops, because as we're trying to improve, every other team is.
Thank you very much. You brought Sam and Dwayne in, and they were vital to that early start, weren't they?
They were good. I thought Sam, before Sam went off, he was probably involved in all our best moments in terms of chances created, so really pleased with him. Mads came on and probably did the same then, so that's great. Dwayne, because we changed the way we wanted to play, we knew when we wanted to defend narrow and central areas, and we knew when we won the ball we had to be a threat and a counter, and probably, Dwayne's one of the best players at that. Fortunately for us, he got the goal, but there's no doubt in that style really suits him, so those were quite easy decisions, really.
Yeah, you've got what you've got, but would you have loved Osmajic to come on in the last 20 minutes, because there was space still in behind, and Emil's working so hard for you, isn't he?
Yeah, but we've not. Like I said, I think you've always asked me about, you can't look at it that way. It's always, you play with what you've got, and it's an opportunity for other people. So no, when we get Millie back, we get him back. When we get Keno back, we get him back. So yeah, at the minute I always just focus on the team and the boys we've got available in the squad.
Was it an interesting one to prepare for tactically? You seem really impressed with what Norwich are doing, and was there a lot to...
It was, only because... it was. Because I think, like I say, I don't ever want to be passive. We could have easily been 5-3-2 or like in possession, and that goes to our 3-diamond-3, which we like to do. But without the ball, we would have been sat in like we were the last 15 minutes of the first half, and I just don't like watching that. It's not for me. So when you want to change and be more aggressive, it's my dilemma is before the game, when you're preparing, what do you change to? Because you don't want to come off your path, you don't want to come off what you are. So how does this shape be really aggressive still against that? So all we did was just make it slightly lopsided without the ball. Did
you not want to make, obviously you didn't, but only 2 subs tonight? Was it a game you didn't want to change and tinker with too much?
Well, because we would have, if we were still a 4-4-2, say, without possession, all of a sudden Jeppy and Josh come right into it when you go into a, but because they'd gone to wing backs again and we'd gone to wing backs, all of a sudden it's less suited for them. I was going to bring Ryan on with Steffi, but then thought against that and just wanted to keep that sub back.
Is it a tactic to change which way you kick at the start of games? You've done it, I think, for the last...
That's probably them winning the toss.
Is it?
Yeah.
3 in a row, and away at Burnley as well now.
Yeah, it's always the... If you see teams change, it's always the away team winning the toss.
Fair enough. But Plymouth, if you can win there, that's a great week, isn't it? Obviously going to be a big challenge. But...
Yeah, their home form, if you look at them, traditionally they've been good at home. This season, again, they're picking up all the points at home. We know. It's almost like you may as well, if you're preparing for Plymouth, just watch all the home games. If you're playing for them, if you're playing them away, they're a totally different proposition at their place, and we know that. We know it's going to be a tough game.
Cheers, Paul.
All good.
All good.
Thanks.
Brilliant.
Marvellous.